talking about democracy is a lot easier than having to spread it. I am a teacher. Those of us in the classroom every day are on the front lines. Students are the helpless, underdeveloped countries, and the school district is the US government, calling shots from a world away. In the comfort of air-conditioned boardrooms on top floors of ivory towers, disconnected from the results of their actions. But my students' future is not a business decision. The world is not a math problem. The light they promised would be at the end of the tunnel has now been turned off due to recent budget cuts. The problem with turning education into a commodity is that sooner or later everyone will have a degree, and yours won't be worth shit. But a true capitalist will sell you the rope you eventually use to hang them with. They are putting themselves out of business. Systems built on greed are not made to last. They are made only to increase until eventually they become so large that they self-destruct. The only difference between students and soldiers is the amount of blood they see. On April 23rd, 1971, thousands of decorated Vietnam vets gathered outside the US Capitol building. For 2 hours, they demonstrated their conviction by ceremoniously ripping off their service ribbons, Purple Hearts, Medals of Honor, and throwing them back over the fence in shame. Turns out, award ceremonies don't treat post-traumatic stress disorder. Just like graduation ceremonies don't erase institutionalized racism. The money used to turn bronze medal and red, white, and blue fabric into the glorification of war could have easily been used to pay for proper therapy or to bring VA hospitals back into the century, but the US government and the public education system have a lot in common. They are not concerned with common sense. They act only in the interest of their shareholders. Just ask either of them to balance their budgets. The numbers will never add up because they will never have to. Systems created to produce profit will only ever know how. Elections for school board and Senate remain a three-ring circus, and the public still pays for tickets to the show. We can't see with sequins in our eyes, so they turn on the old razzle-dazzle and the audience never catches wise. We keep on voting, hoping one day their legislation is able to cash the checks they wrote with their campaign speeches. There is something fundamentally wrong with the way we think. We stifle creativity in the classroom, yet demand innovation in the workplace. Say we value compassion, but must warn our children about how cutthroat the real world is. Einstein once said, "You cannot solve a problem using the same thinking that created it." But this country is the same kind of place that will regard Einstein as a man of genius, marvel at his brilliance, and then refuse to take his advice. Systems that place profit over people cannot last. There's a danger in accepting them as they are, a danger in remaining silent. The disintegration of social institutions causes mighty empires to fall from within. If you don't believe me, just ask the Romans. If you don't believe me, just watch. Ooh.